Welcome to Manna at the Tap, a podcast of Tapestry Ministries. Each episode reflects on a daily Bible reading from the Revised Common Lectionary. I'm Gloria, a fellow traveler on a spiritual journey with the Tapestry community, and we call the daily Bible reading our spiritual manna. This daily manna nourishes our souls and fosters spiritual growth as we share insights and interpretations that enrich our spiritual lives. The lectionary reading for Tuesday, February the 18th, 2025, comes from the Old Testament, specifically the book of Ezra. It narrates the intriguing story of the promise-keeping God who remained faithful to his word. I need to start with a brief history lesson, but I assure you that I'll keep it concise, particularly for those of you who wish me to get to the point. Here's the story. The residents of Jerusalem were besieged by the Babylonian king who exiled them to his country Babylon, which is modern-day Iraq. As the people were leaving, God communicated to them through one of his prophets, Jeremiah, that he, God, would bring them back home after 70 years in exile. Who has time to listen to such hollow promises when faced with death and destruction? The people witnessed as the pagan king Nebuchadnezzar destroyed the holy temple in Jerusalem, which was constructed by King Solomon, son of King David. He then took the sacred articles from the temple and he placed them in the house of his gods in Babylon. The people became refugees, starting life anew on foreign soil. Some elites, such as the young Daniel and his three friends, did obtain positions within the Babylonian government. However, most of the refugees faced significant struggles. The political and military power started to shift, and soon Babylon was conquered by King Cyrus of Persia, present-day Iran. Well, that's the short story of the history. Now to the lectionary reading. The lectionary reading is the account of the book's author, Ezra, from chapter 1, verses 1 to 11. Ezra means to help, and he was born during the Babylonian captivity. He was a scribe by profession, and that was one who transcribed the Torah, the first 5 books of the Old Testament, onto scrolls. He was also a priest, yet there was no temple in Babylon available for him to carry out his priestly duties. The first verse of the lectionary reading features a proclamation by King Cyrus from the first year of his conquest of Babylon. And he declared that Jews could return to their homeland and rebuild the temple. From the time God promised Jeremiah to share with the people as they were being taken into exile until King Cyrus proclaimed that the people could return home was exactly 70 years. Although he was born in Babylon, Ezra was determined to return to Jerusalem. Therefore, King Cyrus's decree fulfilled the promise of Jeremiah to him. You see, the people of Judah were sent into exile due to their disobedience and their disregard for the prophets who warned them that this would happen. Now, the people of Judah have the opportunity to return home because of God's gracious work through the Persian King Cyrus. Some of the people decided to leave Babylon, and those who were willing to depart would not go empty-handed according to Cyrus. The remaining community would have to support them with silver, gold, and livestock, as well as monetary offerings. King Cyrus, he also made an offering, but most importantly, he returned the sacred articles Nebuchadnezzar had taken from the temple in Jerusalem and had placed them in the temple of his gods. The articles were tallied up and given back to the people for their return to Jerusalem. King Cyrus fulfilled Ezra's dream, and Ezra was joined by the families from Judah and Benjamin, along with priests and Levites who willingly departed Babylon. Ezra's heart was filled with excitement and joyful anticipation. You see, the promise-keeping God was faithful to his word, stirring the hearts of those willing to leave behind the comforts of Babylon and embark on a new life in Jerusalem.